The blistering sun bore down on the cracked asphalt as Lieutenant Colonel Mara Collins, 34, idled her dark sedan beside a derelict auto shop. Her GPS, a lifeline in the urban labyrinth, frantically tried to reroute to the hospital where her mother lay in critical condition. Sweat beaded on her temples, a silent testament to the oppressive heat, yet her composure remained unyielding, a testament to her military discipline. Her olive uniform, devoid of any conspicuous insignia, was meant to blend in, to draw no undue attention. But in this neighborhood, being a black woman in uniform was a statement in itself, an invitation for scrutiny. A white patrol cruiser screeched to an abrupt halt nearby, its arrival unannounced by sirens or flashing lights. Two white officers emerged, their postures radiating an unspoken challenge. The first, a bulky, red-faced man, adjusted his belt with a pre-fight swagger. The second, lean with sly, appraising eyes and smirk, shadowed him closely. Well, the bulky one drawled, his gaze lingering on her uniform. Halloween's early this year. Mara looked up, her expression calm and unreadable. Is there a problem, officers? The lean one chuckled, a sneer twisting his lips. Nice costume. Got it from Party Depot, Colonel? I'm a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army, she stated, her voice devoid of emotion, crisp and unwavering. The two exchanged amused glances, a silent mockery passing between them. Lieutenant Colonel? The bulky one echoed, his voice dripping with exaggerated disbelief. Sure you are. I'm not required to prove myself to street-level harassment, she retorted, her voice cutting through the humid air. The lean officer, without preamble, pulled out his handcuffs. How about we check your fantasy at the station? Get in the car. You're out of line, she warned, her eyes narrowing. There's no legal cause for detainment. You think a uniform gives you power? The bulky one barked, taking a menacing step closer. Not in this zip code. Mara didn't flinch, her gaze steady. This uniform represents the Constitution, and you're about to violate everything it stands for. His jaw clenched. I said, hands behind your back. I'm telling you to stop, she cautioned, her voice a low thrum of barely contained power. You're one order away from a career-ending mistake. That was the last straw. The bulky officer lunged, yanking her arm with brutal force. A sharp gasp escaped her lips as her shoulder twisted in its socket. He slammed her into the car, her face grinding against the hot metal. Blood trickled from her lip. Malister, the lean officer grinned, savoring the moment. Where's your military now, Colonel? Still, she didn't cry out. Her voice, though raspy and strained, remained unwavering. You're both finished. Finished. The lean officer scoffed, a sneering laugh escaping him. Lady, nobody's going to believe you. It's your word against two cops. Then, she laughed, dry, grim, and from somewhere dark within her, the sound made them pause. What's funny? Malister demanded, his grin faltering. You have no idea what you just done. Her eye, already swelling, flickered toward her phone lying discarded by the curb. With startling precision, she broke from their grip. There was no desperate struggle, just a fluid economy of train movement. In two swift strides, she had her phone. Doyle! The lean officer yelled, charging forward. But he stopped cold as she tapped in a secure number and brought the phone to her ear. Office of General Ryan, she stated flatly, her voice an unexpected jolt of formality. Lieutenant Colonel Collins, I'm under assault by local police. GPS active. Immediate protocol. Koblack. Copy. There was a pregnant pause, and a calm, authoritative voice responded. Copy, Lieutenant Colonel. Units en route. Stay on the line. Malister staggered back as if struck. She's bluffing, right? Mara looked up, battered but standing firm. I told you to stop, she said. You didn't. And now... The superior's voice still echoed faintly from the speaker. District Chief notified. Federal response mobilizing. 5 minutes. Panic replaced arrogance. Malister stammered. We didn't know. We thought. Thought what? She snapped, her voice lashing out. That a black woman in uniform had to be pretending? that your authority lets you drag anyone off the street. Doyle tried to compose himself. We need to let's all just calm down. But she wasn't finished. You'll explain this to your captain, then your chief, then maybe Congress. Sirens sounded faintly in the distance, too coordinated to be coincidence. Helicopters weren't far behind. I suggest, she said, her gaze slicing through them. You don't move. I won't repeat myself. Doyle backed off, hands half raised, the crushing realization sinking in. This wasn't some powerless bystander. This was a federal officer with rank, credentials, and a direct line to command. Mallister looked at her again, but the smirk was gone, replaced by a grim apprehension. We didn't mean for it to go this far. But Mara Collins had stopped listening. The line was still open, and the sound of rotors was growing louder, closer. You really think anyone's going to believe you? Mallister snarled, stepping closer to Mara, a desperate edge to his voice. You think one phone call ruins our lives? Doyle added, his voice rising, face flushed with fury. No one's lifting a finger for some lying black woman in a fake uniform. Then Mallister lunged. He snatched the phone from her hand, raised it high, and slammed it against the pavement. Crack! The screen exploded into pieces. Without hesitation, he crushed it beneath his boot. There's your call, he spat, triumph and desperation warring in his eyes. Mara didn't flinch. Her stare locked on them, cold, unwavering, dangerous. Doyle couldn't handle the oppressive silence. Something in her eyes threatened him. He grabbed her by the hair, yanking her head back violently. You think you're untouchable? You think someone like you can walk around giving orders? Mara tensed, her body rigid. Doyle raised his fist to strike. Then, the sound of a powerful engine echoed from the corner. A black SUV rolled into view, no lights, no markings. The back door opened precisely, and out stepped a woman, blonde, composed, in a crisp military uniform. Her presence sliced the air like a blade. She walked forward, boots pounding with finality. Officers Mallister, Doyle, she said firmly, her voice leaving no room for argument. Release her now. Doyle froze, his hand still gripped in Mara's hair. Who the hell are you? He stammered. She held up a folder with a red seal. Supervisory Agent Kathleen Arrow, United States Army CID. You're both under arrest for assault, illegal detention, and destruction of federal evidence. Mara smiled faintly, bruised but defiant. Told you. Doyle didn't let go. Not yet. Arrow stepped closer. 3 seconds. Release her or you'll be staring down my sidearm and facing a court-martial. 1. Doyle's hand twitched. 2. Mallister dropped his cuffs. Clink. 3. Doyle finally let go. On your knees. Hands behind your heads. This is insane. Mallister shouted. She attacked us. She's impersonating. Before he could finish, Arrow dropped into the pavement with a precise, practiced move. On your back, she snapped, clicking on the cuffs. Everything you say can and will be used against you under federal and military law. Doyle tried to bolt toward the patrol car. From a far side of the SUV, another agent emerged, tall, muscular, dark-skinned, and stone-faced. Without a word, he tackled Doyle with effortless precision. Doyle hit the pavement hard and stayed down. No, please, he gasped. I didn't know who she was. Silence, the second agent growled, his voice a low rumble. Talk again and you'll bury your own defense. The click of the cuffs was louder than anything else, final and absolute. Mara stood watching, silent, her lip bleeding, her uniform stained, her spine straight. She didn't speak as they were led to the SUV. Before stepping in, Arrow turned to her. Lieutenant Colonel, General Ryan requested you remain here. This is moving straight to federal prosecution, an internal review. It's high priority now. Mara gave a small nod. Thank you. I'm sorry, Arrow added, her expression softening. We should have been faster. Mara didn't respond. She didn't need to. Her silence said enough. 3 days later, drone footage from an Army support unit leaked to the press. The headline was everywhere. 2 officers arrested after assaulting black lieutenant colonel. Federal response underway. Mara watched it from the hospital waiting room. seated beside her sleeping mother. She didn't seek interviews or give statements. She let the footage speak. That night, both officers were suspended without pay. Within 48 hours, they were federally charged with aggravated assault, abuse of authority, and obstruction of a military operation. The local police department issued a bland statement, promising cooperation, but no one believed it. At Fort Moore, the entire battalion stood at attention when Mara returned. Her lips were still healing. A fresh uniform adorned her, crisp and unblemished. There was no applause, no speeches, just silence, earned and reverent. Later that evening, alone at home, she sat in front of her mirror. The bruises were still visible, a testament to the ordeal. She slowly unlaced her boots, her gaze fixed on her own reflection, and for the first time in years, tears came, not from weakness, not from fear, but from everything she carried hidden, suppressed through years of service, years of proving herself to a world that still saw her skin before her rank. But not this time. This time, the uniform meant something. This time, silence had been broken. This time, the system had listened. And next time, anyone like Mal Lister and Doyle would think twice.